Time for a check on our Wednesday forecast. And really interesting, TJ, the kind of the cutoff between where it's snowing hard and not really snowing at all.
Yeah, especially across Cape Cod and from the Cape Cod Canal areas on off to the east. We're seeing it snowing very heavily. That's not to say there aren't some pockets of heavier snow across Rhode Island. Let's take a look at the live Pinpoint Doppler 12 radar. And you can see obviously the very heavy dark blue down along the coastline, especially out toward Cape Cod and the islands. But I want to draw your attention to right up in here from, say, Greenville, Rhode Island, all the way back into Scituate. We're finding some little pockets of heavier snow that have been kind of working their way on off to the south and west. So we're probably finding some streets already getting coated with a little bit of snow. Down here in Newport, the visibility is dropping, seeing some moderate snow down here. And actually most of Narragansett Bay seeing a little bit heavier snow. But notice across southeastern Mass, most of it, the very light blue, just some flurries out here, very light snow. But you get out toward the Cape Cod Canal, Sandwich and Bourne, and it is snowing to beat the band out there. Live city cam picture in Providence. Here we have very light snow. The winter weather advisory continues for Newport County, and that includes Jamestown, Prudence Island, Newport, Middletown, Portsmouth, Tiverton, Little Compton, all of Bristol County, Massachusetts, and all of Plymouth County, Massachusetts under a winter weather advisory, mainly for some slick conditions expected due to the snow and the wind as well, creating some poor visibility issues at times. Speaking of poor visibility, blizzard warnings in effect for Cape Cod and the islands as we are expecting blizzard conditions out there. In terms of wind advisories, high wind advisory in effect for all of Rhode Island, Bristol County in Massachusetts, high wind warning for Cape Cod and the islands and parts of Plymouth County. Gusts maybe up to 70 miles an hour out there on the Cape, near hurricane force. Gusts 45 to 55 miles an hour expected across Rhode Island. It wouldn't surprise me if Nantucket briefly gets above hurricane force later in the day, probably right around 8 o'clock or so. That's when you would find those hurricane force wind gusts. Temperatures in the upper 20s to lower 30s across the region, probably not going to budge too much throughout the morning. Satellite radar combination showing that snow, that very heavy band trying to work its way into Cape Cod. The storm system itself is way offshore, and it's going to continue to work its way on off to the north and east, making its closest pass to southern New England around 8 o'clock this morning, and then it'll continue to work its way off to the Canadian Maritimes, and it will continue to strengthen very rapidly as it passes on by southern New England. So here's what we are looking at for the day ahead. By around 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, I think the heaviest of the snow probably almost done. The heavy snow will continue across Cape Cod. This will all be pulling away throughout the afternoon. In fact, we'll be seeing some clearing here in Rhode Island this evening. No snow falling across the region. And taking you into your Thursday, we're looking at sunshine, expecting to see some sunshine right into tomorrow afternoon. So again, the timeline, the snow ends up mostly by around noontime, probably a little bit earlier. It lingers a little bit longer on the Cape. The highest accumulations out there on the Cape. Very strong winds all day everywhere here in southern New England. Some sunshine expected in Rhode Island. The impacts, there will be some slick spots in the morning commute. Even here in Rhode Island, there'll be a lot of blowing and drifting snow, especially wherever some of the heavier snow bands do set up. Isolated power outages are possible due to the winds, damaging winds expected across Cape Cod and the islands, and scattered power outages are possible out there, and coastal flooding out there on the Cape and Nantucket. All right, how much should you expect? Coating the 2 inches across most of Rhode Island, and wherever those heavier bands, like that band that's out here between Greenville and Foster, in some areas like that, you might actually find as much as 2 inches of snow. 2 to as much as 5 inches between Newport and the Cape Cod Canal. Look at the Cape, 5 to 10 inches of snow expected with blizzard conditions out there. Here's your 7-day futurecast, and we are expecting a blend of clouds and sunshine for Thursday, 40. Springtime arrives for Friday and Saturday, and even into early next week. 50s, chance of showers late Friday into early on Saturday. You can always get the updated futurecast on our website. That's at WPRI.com. Let's get an update now on that morning commute with your Jam Cam traffic. Here's Gina Brown.